Welcome, everyone. Today is September 17th, 2024, and this day is the day that Mr. Sean Puffy Combs was arrested. He was denied bond also, and it can't help but to invoke further thoughts of what's going to happen. But it's important to not be distracted from the bigger picture. See, Mr. Combs is just a microcosm of the overall agenda and scripts that was in play. I'm not trying to defend Mr. Combs, but what I do know is that he was following a well thought out blueprint within the scripts that the powerful, the elite, the dark forces play by. This is Foundation for Elevation Station. And I like to address something else. It's another guy, couple people, a guy named Ra. I don't know. God, the forces finally put him in front of me, and I understand that this dude, he switched his material. He's a YouTuber. He's probably a lot more. I don't know enough. But this guy has been absorbing my perspective. And he, merged it with his knowledge of, the ancient Anunnaki and, all these types of things, which gives him a further perspective to suck life out of people. And this is not righteousness, good brother. And I know the powers that be put me in front of you so that you could get a greater, a more rich perspective. But guess what? You should not use it to pad your own coffers. Help the people, brother. You ain't got to give me no props and stuff. I know where you got it from. I know it's your perspective that you share with me is new. But I'm glad to be of service, because my perspective that you speaking on, no one on the planet had it. So we know where it come from. It come from Leon Meredith. But back to regularly scheduled programming. Mr. Puff Daddy, Sean Combs. I pray for him. I pray for him out of his willingness to accept his role in humanity. Like, you got to see that this was a long time put together. I want to use other words, but hey, I'll be righteous like. If you are half as aware of me, like I'm only half as aware, because I'm talking about what's going on in media, what's going on in culture. I see just small glimpses of things, but what I do see is different stars come out and say, I'm just doing celibacy and I'm doing this, and all these blips of inception. Inception is when ideas are planted in you, in your mind. R. Kelly, other sex type of crimes, other people that are sexual addicts per se. Just using those titles because I fit in that group, because I have the appetite of probably 10 million. I'm able to perform like 10 million. I just am. So I see that it's an accumulative effort to impose ideas to the consciousness of me and you, all of us, to put sexuality on the back burner, to not operate under these terms. And this is not nothing, I'm not saying negative, or I just want you to see things at work. This is how we are. I can't find another word. Oh yeah, I got a nice word. Persuaded. Guided. And these are nice words I'm using because I can think of some words that's really more befitting. But it's an accumulative effort with all these moving parts to guide us into a certain behavior that's against what Mr. Sean Combs is representing. So in some ways, in some certain thought processes, one may at one point pay homage to a man like Combs for taking on and being the poster child of this sinful type of behavior. Give or take some type of sinful behavior. I'm not biblical fire and brimstone type of guy, because I think that we all find ways to pleasure others and pleasure ourselves. No matter if it's a romantic trip to the refrigerator at night, at midnight, no matter if it's gossip, no matter if it's starting an argument with someone, we all find ways to pleasure ourselves, to share in pleasure with others. I think that we all are aware of the influences that's present. It's just like in the drug game. Let's just say heroin, crack cocaine. When you dealing drugs on a minor level and you make profit $800, $1,000 a week profit, and someone wants to give you 20 years in jail, some government agency, for that. But what about the larger people that's moving weight on the satanic level? Someone that's getting just 10 bricks, 10 kilos of cocaine. So this is roughly 22 pounds of drugs once a week. How long do that person deserve in jail? Because we gave that guy that it's just that he ain't doing much. We gave him 20 years in jail for getting caught with what? Let's just say 250 grams with a G, R-A-M of crack cocaine. We gonna give him 20 years in jail. So how much does that other person deserve? See, that's why these systems must be adjusted. And I ain't trying to go off script, so I'll end this now. What I'm talking about, the overall premise is look at the big picture. I know that this is being brought to light, Puff Sean Combs, to guide us in a direction that someone wants us to go. Think about it. I'm saying a lot, not saying a lot. Think about what I'm saying. This is all taking place for a certain reason. I want to say I love you And I encourage you to think. Be vigilant over what you're ingesting in your mind and the way that we're thinking. We all have become comfortable with the way in which we live our lives. But the way in which we live in our lives is productive for who? Are we pleasure seekers? Romantic trips to the refrigerator, drugs, sex, gossip, endless viewings on these things? Are we living a life of elevation or being distracted into the programming that is? Love.